Alright, so I just got some information from Jill Gookin. I still need to get a hold of Scotts Bluff and file a report against them. See, this is the first place I've actually been where I've been able to even make these phone calls without interruption, without having to fear the police getting called because of the sensitive nature of what happened. The first place where I've been able to sit down and work on it without getting screamed at or without having to not make phone calls during the day when these people are open because of screaming. Shannon Alvarado's was a lot of screaming. Back when I was at Amanda and Lana's way early last year, there wasn't a whole lot of screaming. As long as I wasn't talking, I wasn't getting screamed at. Lana did scream at other people in the household, but it was pretty well kept to a minimum. As long as you listen to what she has to say, you probably won't get screamed at. Unless she's in one of those moods where she's just gonna scream at you no matter what because something was offensive. When a woman feels rejected, it's likely that she'll find everything offensive, and that's the issue that I had at Lana's. Everything I said was offensive. Everything I did was offensive. Trying to tell her what was going on was offensive because she already had a set in stone opinion, and that was it. And my dad's, I was able to make some phone calls, but I wasn't really able to work on my case. This is because my dad had 10,000 extra things for me to do. Sean, you need to do this, and this. And then he's like, well, I only had one rule for while you're here. No, Dad. You had hundreds of rules, and you kept on changing the rules. Can't do that, Dad. Although I couldn't really call him a dad, he's not one. His name is Brian David Schwartz. Now, the information that I got from Jill Gookin, it shows some of the court dates, so that helps with me being able to finally write my police reports. However, there's the other public pretenders going out of their way not to send me the information that I need, making any excuse that they can because they're trying to protect their buddies. That's not okay. I've been trying to get this information from Pamela Carty for over a year. She still hasn't sent it. I need to take all of these public pretenders to court. See, here's the thing, is that my safety was never, ever a concern of anyone's. What those officers did with the harassing and the bullying and the lying, it's pretty fucked up. So, I got their names written down, and I got the dates written down of what happened in Arapahoe County Jail. However, the information from Boulder County Jail, they refused to relinquish. I should have never had to break the law to defend myself. Ever. I should have never had to go to alcoholics and druggies like Shannon Alvarado and Brett Roloff to get that help. There are supposed to be professionals who deal with that. Those professionals didn't do their job, nor did they care. What they cared about was free money. Is it really free money? No, you guys, the taxpayers, you pay this. You pay this tab. It's completely fucking insane. Amanda Balehash. I needed information from her. Well, she's a judge now. And instead of, sending me what it is that I have a legal right to, their receptionist wanted to argue with me and tell me this, that, and the other about a case that she wasn't there for. She wasn't there for any of it. So it's bias that she's throwing at me. Between doing her job and making baseless assumptions, she decided to make baseless assumptions. I can tell you what day it is that Brian Townsend went with me to help carry my gear, and that evidence that I carried until August of last year, trying to show every public pretender, and every one of them, from Amanda Jonas to Zoe Tanner to Miss Cotton to Catherine Hay to Pamela Carty, and the other 6 public pretenders there in Arapahoe County. No matter what, nobody was willing to look at that. Nobody was willing to accommodate my disabilities. Instead, they exploited them to cover their own wrongdoing. Now, there's a lot of people who wanted to come forward, and the police outright refused to take their report. I needed criminal charges brought against these people so that evidence could be looked at, so that I could force these people to look at that evidence. By the time I lit that road on fire next to Ken and Leah's vehicle and threatened to kill the President of the United States, I'd already spent over 7 months trying to force the police to take a look. And if you count all of the shit that I went through for a whole year before Natalie died, yeah, we're talking about 19 months or more that the police refused to do a goddamn thing. Now, Amanda Balehash being a judge in Adams County, that's a major problem for me, because this woman has information that she needs to come forward about. Mainly the information pertaining to her collection of evidence, the judge's refusal to look at evidence, the things that she had to say about why my case was dropped versus what the police had to say about why my case was dropped, and the fact that the dropping of those charges prevented me from showing evidence. Officers worked across jurisdictions, multiple jurisdictions, to prevent me from showing evidence. And I can't show that because these officers are from out of jurisdiction, or they operated out of jurisdiction to illegally steal evidence and prevent it from being shown. Now, the worst out of all of my public pretenders by far was Pamela Carty. That woman belongs in prison for what she did.